Hello, book besties.
I'm Albie.
And I'm Nikki,
Welcome to Backstage with the Book Babes.
where we spill the tea on the secret lives of your favorite romance authors.
We've got a fantastic small-town rom-com author with us today, so we can't wait to introduce you to her. But first off, what have you been up to, Nikki?
I have been very busy. So my book came out on Thursday, my new book, and I blinged a copy of it because I'm extra like that.
Yeah.
Yes. Obsessed. But also, I was at an event in Ottawa, Ontario for the Pages and Pleasures event, and it was fantastic. Just well organized. It was a nice conference center. Lots of people showed up, and lots of people got early copies of Wrangled by the Star. So that was exciting. And I met some readers, and yeah, so that's what I've been up to. We stayed a little bit longer for vacation. We brought our family along. And we did some touristy things while we were there because it's a 5.5 hour drive for us. So we went on the river cruise and we went to the Byward Market. We went to the Museum of Nature because we're big nerds. So whenever we go anywhere, we go to the museums.
Yeah.
And we went to the Arboretum. But yeah, so I had a great vacation. And then I got back here and my book came out. And that's what I've been up to. Lots of chaos.
Nice.
I did buy myself a cupcake. We always talk about how we don't celebrate our releases enough or our accomplishments. So when I was in Ottawa, I met with another author, Madden Rose, who we had on last week, actually. And she has a book coming out next week. So we met for a drink at the bar the one night, took some pictures, and then I bought myself some cupcakes for my release day. Yay.
Awesome. That's fantastic.
How about you, Albie? What have you been up to?
Well, so I also had a release come out recently. My Trick Shot Athlete Workplace Romance. And I'm really good at technology. Just so you know, I'm great. I'm so good at it that I accidentally uploaded my ARC version of the manuscript and had that up there for a while with that didn't link to my bonus material in the back.
Oh, of course.
So discovered that today. Super fun. So now the correct final version is now available. And you can read the super spicy scene between all four of them in the back. It's super fun.
Spicy scene.
Yeah. And then I went to the Columbus Book Fest in Columbus, Ohio. I found out that it's 5 hours away, not the 2.5 hours that I thought it was. That was the surprise halfway through that we weren't there yet. So I'm doing great. I plan on resting for at least 2 days because apparently I need it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
You definitely do.
Yeah. So that's what's been up with me. Yeah. So now we're very excited to introduce a very good friend of mine, Katharine Sweet, a big book babe. Welcome to you, Katharine.
Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on. So, for full transparency, you and I have known each other for a while now. I don't know how long because, like I said, time is really hard and I can't tell 2 hours from 5 hours. So,
That's fair.
but this is your first time meeting my co-host, Nikki Jewell. Could you give us a brief overview of your books?
Yeah. So I make a joke. So I actually write in 2 lanes, but my main one that we're talking about today is what I like to call my rated R hallmark vibe.
Nice.
So found family, squishy feels. We know the idea is to getting together, but it's my version of hallmark. So we're diverse, we're inclusive, we swear, we're a little spicy, and the majority of my characters are actually blue collar because I grew up working poor. And that's kind of the world I exist in still. And it's just something that speaks to me. I want to create characters that you'd want to have a drink with or have coffee with, and just kind of like, oh, I met that guy. Kind of a vibe is what I like to have in my books. Relatable, grounded. And I love dialogue, and I get to write really fun dialogue with these guys.
Nice. Some good banter. Banter be bantering.
Banter be banter.
Nice.
My
So-
favorite thing.
Me too. I love me some good banter. Of all the subgenres of romance, how did you particularly choose small town? Was it mostly because you like those blue collar characters or you like that small town atmosphere?
Yeah. So the first book that I published wasn't necessarily small town. It was just kind of a rom-com.
Yeah.
No. I kind of fell into small town because the first book that I published, Love Is, which was a fan fiction. I won't tell you what fandom. That goes to me, with me to my grave. But it was a twist on the accidental pregnancy trope. And one of the first comments that I got is, I love how this isn't a cop romance or a firefighter or a billionaire where all their problems are just magically fixed, as I'm 3/4 of the way through writing the other half of the duet, which is a billionaire romance. And I'm like, oh, but it's a girl. It's a girl billionaire. It's a lady. Does that matter? She has a black cat named Jackal.
Love that.
Oh, she's great. Anna's such a kick-ass character. I fucking love her. She's who I want to be because she is like no BS brave.
Yes. I love those
So,
characters.
Did you grow up then watching all the Hallmark like movies on TV?
Somewhat. Probably later when I got into my high school, middle school, and I went to a Christian school. So full transparency, Hallmark was romance. Like the Christian romance movies was the accepted romance.
Yeah.
Like I read Christian romance novels when I was in high school of like, we'd fall in love and find God, which, I mean, if that's your thing, that's fine. You're allowed to, love what you love. But it was a very narrow camera lens, the authors I was reading at that time. I fell into this small town when I was working on my third book. I got super inspired. My brother is a huge anime and manga fan, which I am too. One Piece is his favorite. And when the live action came out a couple years ago, he begged me to watch it. He's like, Kath, the writing is so good. You'll really enjoy it. If you could just please watch it. I want to talk to somebody about it on a higher level. And I did. And I fell in love with the grumpy father-son relationship between Zeph and that inspired the beginnings of Failure to Thrive. And then I just sort of wrote a small town around the idea of where would these characters meet each other.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, that's awesome.
Hence Windmill Creek.
Nice.
Perfect.
I love it.
Perfect.
I do too.
Yeah. So these books are obviously rom-com.
Mhm.
I know that you're funny in real life. How do you set up humor within these books? Because humor is so subjective, and I feel like it'd be the hardest thing to write.
It's different to write, right?
Yeah.
So the one thing I remember is humor is subjective. Like I just said, some people don't like Tom Hanks, is the example my brother gave me. So
What's wrong with that?
Who are these people?
Right?
I've never met these people.
Me neither, but I know they're out there. So what I think about it is not everybody's going to find my humor funny. Like with my kind of humor, like some people are going to find it humorous. Some people aren't. I have a very dry sense of humor. I like to make comments. I think about stuff, and especially even though I'm more of an audio writer, so I hear the characters more than I'm seeing them in my head. But there are certain scenes that I see are very comedic. And one of my favorite things in Failure to Thrive is the fact that Russ, and this part isn't funny, but Russ has got PTSD from being in prison. So he's on parole. So being watched makes him very nervous. It concerns him. And he is constantly waking up now feeling like he's being watched. But instead of somebody trying to hurt him, it's this feisty little 8-year-old that wants to learn how to cook things, and he knows Russ knows how to cook them. So he's constantly waking up with Liam like leaning over him like, hi, I want to make breakfast burritos. And to me, that's very funny. And I don't know if everybody's going to find my humor funny, but
I was fully prepared for you to say a cat.
No.
Because I have definitely woken up with a cat like 2 inches from my face staring at me, and I freak out. So
when I had dogs, my dogs did that to me too. So I definitely had that feeling. And to be fair, Liam is a dog on a bone when he wants to learn a recipe.
Perfect. Love that.
Sure. Awesome. And do you ever see yourself moving out of small town romances, or are you going to stick with that because that's kind of been working for you?
Like it. I have, to be fair. So I have 2 novellas that I have written that are more of like a diet dark romance. I have them under a separate little subgenre. My grandmother is in her 90s, and I'm totally fine with her knowing I write spice. My novellas are much spicier, and there's a serial killer involved in them. So I don't necessarily want grandma to know about those 2, but I do.
So nobody sent her this episode.
Yes, it's okay. It's all right. She will not find it. I'm very careful. I know how to block her on social media from certain things. I may have already blocked the page that attaches to the other imprint. Just I need to know.
Yeah.
So you write those under a pen name?
I do. So I write those
What
under
happened?
KJ Sweet.
Okay.
So K is for me, Catherine, and then J is for Joel, who is my husband. So it's KJ Sweet for the
Nice.
novellas.
Like it.
Because it's still me. It's just a different part of me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think there's a specific theme or trope that holds your book together then, like that you would find even between those subgenres of the diet, dark romance and the small town?
Yeah. So consent is one of my big themes that runs through all of my books. And I make the joke all the time. So when I'm talking about my romance books, I'm like, so these are my rated R Hallmark, blah, blah, blah. And these two at the end, all my intrusive thoughts one. I call them diet dark romance because the spice is always consensual. The stabbing, baby, not so much.
Yes. I
So
love that tagline for it. Yeah.
I'm sure there's occasional consensual stabbing, but probably not that
I
common.
mean,
And so,
not the person getting stabbed, but the other way.
I have a story for you later.
oh no,
The
I can't wait.
What I love about all of my books is some consistent themes. Found family is something that is huge, even
Yep.
just between the two characters of the novellas. It is a found set of, I know you, you're mine now, and I've adopted you. All of my characters, my main men, they're all green flags in their own way, even the stabby one. Like,
the stabbing.
does he kill people? Yes. He is also extremely like, I can't touch the pretty lady while I'm thinking dirty thoughts about her. That's rude. I have to remove my hands from this situation. That's not okay. And Russ is an idiot, but he's doing his best. All of my female characters are strong. It's another theme that I have that goes through my books, but they're all strong in different ways.
Yeah.
So in my dark novellas, Bianca's very intelligent. She's very smart. She uses all of the knowledge that she has, and she's definitely OCD rep. Like, she very clearly has OCD. When you read that book, you're like, oh, all of your files are color coded inside of your computer. Everything's got to be just, as a Virgo and, autism sparkly. I'm right there with you, girly. I have my billionaire is Anna. She is very forward but she's not bitchy, but she is also very, this is what I want. This is what I'm going after. Everyone get out of my way. I have Cass, who's very resilient because it's a twist on the accidental pregnancy trope. All of this drama crashes into her life, and her response is, okay, this is where I'm at now. Let's find a path forward. And then in Failure, in the first book of the Windmill Creek Hearts, I describe Aster as strong like still water because she ran from an emotionally abusive ex-husband. And for her, just standing in his presence and not cowering is a form of strength. Her thinking, I'm going to cry later, is this form of strength that you don't see. And for all of my books too, I think a theme that runs through is I handle hard topics. I just choose to do it with a softer hand. So Aster's emotional abuse that she went through isn't on the page. This is after she's left. This is her in a new space. Russ doesn't come in and save her out of her situation. He meets her after she has gotten herself out with her son.
Yeah.
Like, there's the aftermath of going from your parents making all of your decisions to your husband making all of your decisions. And there's a moment in the book, and it really speaks to kind of the theme of how I write, of grounding yourself back down and allowing yourself to be, where Aster realizes, because somebody in the grocery store, oh, this wine's on sale, here you go. And she bought it and she doesn't want it. And she's sitting there looking at this bottle of wine going, I didn't want this. I didn't know how to say no.
Yeah.
So it's watching these characters learn about themselves and grow in these ways of like Bianca going from I research serial killers to how do I get myself away from this one, from Cass of being a mothering person and an older sister to being a mother, and Anna learning how to go from being isolated and handling everything on her own to being a part of a group and part of a family, both out demeaning where they are from the start, middle, or end.
Yeah, for sure.
I talk
That's
about.
awesome.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I try.
I love it. I love it. So, talking about these books that you've written, are you willing to chat a little bit about what you're working on?
Yes. So behind me, the giant board of confusion and chaos.
Yeah.
So Failure to Thrive is actually part of a 7-book interconnected series called the Windmill Creek Hearts. So every book is going to be its own standalone thing. So beginning to end, complete story. If you only pick one up, cool beans. You know the whole story. You have all of your questions answered about the couple you're looking at, but they all interconnect in the same town. So you see the characters kind of move through each other because I love interconnected stories. They are my favorite. I love check-ins with characters that I've met in another book. Like, oh, I know who you are.
Me too.
I've seen you before. The second, I'm actually trying to finish the second book because I have a super introverted female main character. And Evan does not like to tell me about herself. And I finally had to sit her down and be like, my beloved woman, I will not tell the dumb golden retriever nurse boy your secrets until you're ready. Just talk to me.
Yes.
3/4 of the way through writing it again for the third time, because, that didn't make me want to rip out all of my hair that has grown back. And then I'm about 1/4 of the way through writing book 3. There's some overlap between 2 and 3, so I need to make sure that I have 2 completed and all the overlap section done in 3 before I publish 2, because otherwise, shenanigans. I have the cover already. The cover artist sent it to me because it was supposed to be done last year. And she's like, you ready for the wrap on this yet? I was like, no.
Maybe one day.
Soon, I hope. Fingers crossed. Evan, please help me. No. So, Faking It For Now is the title of book 2 in the Hearts series. It is a fake dating. Same. So this is a reformed playboy. He literally makes a decision in the first chapter. Dude, I got to do better for myself. Because we meet Nate, who is a wonderful nurse. He is a great guy. He is good at his job. He is the nurse that you want. He's a float nurse. He goes between departments. The series is set in the early 2000s. While he is a playboy, consent is very important to him. We want everybody to have a good time and be on the same page about all of the spicy things. His personal life would be labeled he is the bisexual disaster, because he is. Literally the first chapter, he is waking up in bed with a dude he slept with the night before, and he's like, hey, I'm off tomorrow. Like, do you want to get dinner? And the guy's like, nah. And he's like, cool, just gonna...
Okay, see you later. Maybe
just gonna go. So, but the other part of the story is the twist on that hallmark trope of the estranged parent and daughter when she inherits the thing and then she gives up her big city life.
Yes.
For the thing in the small town, which is where we meet Evan. She is a corporate banker from Detroit. So she comes to Windmill Creek because it's this little fictional town that's like in this area-ish, kind of. Like it's an amalgamation of places I've lived and worked, and I kind of just smushed them all together for that small town vibe. But she inherits the Windmill House, which was a Waffle House that failed in Windmill Creek. But Windmill Creek has this tendency to recycle old buildings. So literally they just changed the color scheme to blue. They took out just the waffle and replaced it with Windmill now. And she inherited from her father, who she hadn't seen since she was 4 when he walked out on her and her mom. And while she wants nothing to do with this diner, at the wake, she overhears all of these stories about how important this diner was to so many people. It served as impromptu AA meetings. It was where people would come in to talk. He and her father, who she never knew, he was just a deadbeat, to this town. He was this kind, almost heroic kind of person running this diner, helping everybody out. And she doesn't know how to reconcile the two pieces. But she knows she doesn't want this life. So her and Nate meet when she's kind of a little bit of a wreck at the funeral. Literally, she's drunk off her ass at the VFW where they're throwing the wake. And she tries to take him home with her. And he's like, oh, honey, you're not sober enough for me. No. Oh, no. But I am going to help you get a little bit level because no, I don't want anything to happen to you. But she basically tells him, I need your help navigating the small town. I make this terrible impression. Most people really don't like me because of how I acted. I want to find an ethical buyer for this location so somebody can honor its spirit, because I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want anything to do with him, but I can see how important it is to this town. So we're twisting up that hallmark trope. So instead, she's leaving at the end of the book. The question is Nate going with her when she leaves? So
that's
nice.
I like that.
I'm excited about it. It's so fun to write.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think Michigan romances by a Michigan author will sell really well at these, especially like at bookstores here and local events. So my question is, Are other states like this or other places like this where they're like want things just about their state?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Michigan is like hardcore, like, Michigan, you know?
There's this hockey romance author that just recently published her first hockey romance based in Edmonton, Alberta, in Canada. And she has very, very specifically marketed it as an Edmonton hockey romance. And it seems like a lot of the local bookstores and things like that are getting on board.
Okay.
Actually, I think I'm going to meet her because she's going to be at the Romance A event I'm going to again in October. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
Fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have her on the podcast. Find
There
out.
you go.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Well, there's another Michigan author that I know that I don't know her well, but I know her from events and stuff, DK Marie. Most of her books are set in Michigan. And that's one of her selling points is she talks about it is set these in Michigan, blah, blah. She's like, except this one's set in Kentucky.
Yeah.
I aspire to be as poised as she is.
Nice.
Yeah. That's the thing. If you're next to somebody at events, by like 20 minutes in, you're like, I have their whole pitch down. When they step away, I've got it.
Yes, exactly.
Apologize to whoever I'm next to. I like, hey, I'm Catherine. So nice to meet you. I'm super friendly. I'm so sorry. I'm a yap all day.
Yeah.
This does not stop. I never shut up.
That's hilarious. Man. Yeah, I know a few other authors as well that do strictly Michigan romance. So you've obviously planned out the full 3 books in this series. How do you get your ideas for these books? Do you start with like a character? Do you start with a scene? Like, how does it start talking to you?
Yeah. So there's going to be 7 books total in the series.
Sorry,
Because
7.
I'm crazy. You should see my spreadsheet. That's like conspiracy theory with the red string kind of
nice.
vibes.
Your murder board.
The very first scene is usually how I start. I usually start with the scene. There's a scene in my head. The characters are usually arguing. That is usually what happens first. It's some intense moment of they're screaming at each other or they're trying to figure something out and they're not listening to each other. That's usually where it starts. So book 1, wildly, because usually it's in the middle. The first scene of the book is the first scene. It was the first scene that popped into my head, which is so rare. And then once I got that on paper and kind of did a fake outline, the next thing so I always write my endings first. So I wrote the ending so I knew where we were going because I have to know what I'm writing to. Otherwise, I just ramble into oblivion. So where am I going? What's going to get me here? And I usually will do a more stringent outline backwards.
Okay.
So this is where we're ending. How did we get to the end?
Interesting.
And go back, and then I write this way and write from the first scene to the last scene.
Okay.
Faking it is not cooperated. One thing that is very unique with faking it is Nate came into my head a fully developed character.
Okay.
He knew who he was, what he was about, all of his likes, dislikes, what he looked like, which is so wild for me because normally I know what they sound like. I know what they feel like. I know what they've been through. And then the description, what does the character look like? A human.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A nice human.
He has brown, green, blue, hazel eyes, right?
Well, and we were laughing about it, my cover artist and I, because somehow with failure, they all became blondes. Aster, her son Liam, and Russ. They're all blonde. And she's like, why? I was like, because my brain said so. And in faking it, Nate has lighter brown hair, but he is a brunette, and so is Evan. But they're the same height because Nate is a short king because they're both 5'7".
Okay.
So I'm very excited about that in of itself. And then going forward, all the stories have their own little twist, their own little flair. So the only book that is not about the blue collar focused community is book 3. And that is about 2 doctors that are at the hospital. So we have Mira, who we definitely meet in book 2. She's one of Nate's friends. She is their internal medicine doctor. She's the head of internal medicine. She's very young for her position. She is brilliant. She is the reason the Creekside Hospital is what it is to Windmill Creek. So when she got started, I essentially get to create an ethical hospital in my world because it's my world. So I get to write the rules of how the world works. So Mira essentially helped somebody. She saved the CEO's wife's life because of her diagnosis when she was just first starting. And so the CEO pledged all of this money to the hospital as long as Mira agreed to stay. And the CEOs wanted all that money. And Mira's like, sure. But I want to put a salary cap on everybody. including the C-suite. So they have a salary cap, right? Right?
Yes.
So I have designed this hospital to be very ethical, because here's this little town of like 50,000, and the hospital, almost 3,000 jobs at this hospital because it is a campus because of Mira. She goes, cool, the cap for everybody top out is $300K, is the very most you can make here. And if you want to raise, everybody gets a raise. So you've got to make sure that our standards stay the same, our nurse ratio stays the same. But we hear more about it in book 3 because Nate just knows he likes his job and he's floating and doing his thing. Mira is a very fun creature, and some of this gets explained because the other half of her coupling is Dusan Babic, and he's from Croatia. So she gets to explain a lot of the things about American culture and why this hospital is so different than other ones that he's been in.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
That is awesome, because did you know that in America, at least, you can Google the salary of the top 25 highest paid people at any hospital, because they're all
Interesting.
nonprofits. It's like a year and a half behind. So right now we can see from like what they filed in 2025 or 2024.
It's like a sunshine list.
It's
interesting.
eye-opening.
Mind-blowing.
Yes, it will make you very upset.
Yeah. That's why I designed, it's my world, so I get to make it how I want. And
I love your world.
Thank
Can
you.
I come
do
there?
too. Listen, I already had somebody when I published the first book, they're like, hey, can I go live at that trailer park? That place actually sounds pretty nice.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Love it.
Oh man. It's such an interesting way to write the books too, like to outline from the end to the front.
Always how I do it.
Yeah, when you're working on it that way, you start it with the end and then go back to the beginning. So when you're ready to dive into the writing part of it, how does that look like for you? Do you need to write in a specific place, or do you like it quiet? Do you like noise? Do you have snacks?
I like both. I try not to have snacks, and this isn't me attacking myself before I say this, but like I'm a fat girl, so if I'm bored, I'll eat. So when I'm writing, I try not to eat. I try to like have that be a separate activity, because I will eat an entire bag of chips if the chips is in the room with me when I'm writing, because I won't notice. I'll be like, chip, type, chip, type. No, that's not what I want. No. So I try to only have, in theory, water with me, flavored water with me when I'm working. And I like both. So if I am struggling in my space that I can normally write in, which is my office, I have trouble with visuals. So I will make diagrams or outlines for the spaces that the book takes place in, and it's behind my screen on the wall. So I can look at it to remember where the windows are in the place. Smart. And then I'll have one screen, because I have 2 screens in here. I have one with my outline and my spreadsheet that goes with that book, with all my tabs for each one of my characters, their dislikes, likes, all the timeline notes, all those things. And then in the main screen, I have it split, and half of it is my Discord that I have that's just me in my little Discord channel. I'm the only one that lives there. So I can set a timer, and then I open my writing app, which is Readsy at the moment, and I write in like 30-ish minute intervals.
Sprints,
And then, because I like the little achievement to know how much I wrote. And then if I feel claustrophobic or stiff in here, I will usually go to one of the libraries within my area, usually the Okemos Library, because it's open till 8 o'clock at night. And I will go into the quiet room, and it's usually me and a Chinese doctorate student working on their thesis. She's in one corner, I'm in the other one, because the last 3 times I've been there, it's been the same girl. And we look at each other and we're both like, are you going to be quiet? Because I'm going to be quiet. And then we go to our and then we just go back to what we're doing.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
That. Love a library.
I'm hyper specific though. Once I'm there, my phone gets shut off. I don't pay attention to anything. I'm there to write. I set a timer so I don't lose track of time too much. And then I just kind of get done as I get done. I will occasionally write in there, even if I can't get into the quiet room during the summer, because I don't have central air in my house. So it gets very warm in my home. So I will go hide in the AC in there if I'm like, must finish and I can't coffee shop anymore, because coffee shop is money and library is free.
Yes. Love our libraries. Oh my gosh. So speaking about writing and time, Nikki and I both still have a day job. And I think you also have a day job, correct?
Definitely have a day job.
Yes. How do you find the time and schedule it for writing? Do you schedule it out? Like, do you have these are the hours that nothing else can happen? Or how do you balance this?
In theory,
Yeah.
So one thing that does help is my husband. He works late nights. He works in a
Oh.
restaurant, so he doesn't get home until the evening. So if I work from home, I will get done with my office job. I will push away from my computer. I will go make a lap around my house. Sometimes I will take a 10-minute nap or a 20-minute nap. If I go into the office, a lot of times I'll bring my laptop with me and I will stop at the library on my way home and I will write for an hour or two and then come home. And sometimes I start up again when I get home. Sometimes I don't. It depends on my mood. And sometimes I won't write for 2 weeks. And then I'm like, so it's been 2 weeks and I have written 3 sentences. I am getting itchy.
Yeah.
Seriously.
How do you only take a nap for like 10, 20 minutes?
Set 4 alarms and I'm an insomniac.
I take a nap, it's an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, seriously.
So, okay.
Because I am an insomniac, I have learned how to micro nap because I figured out I can function as a human with 4 hours of sleep. My average is usually 4.5 to 5 hours is usually solid for me is what I sleep. So I got really good at work before we had work from home days, before the work from home days. You went to the office 5 days a week. We had a basement and there is a chair because one of the offices that used to be there was a therapist's office. So there was a squishy chair that was in the basement. So I would set an alarm on my phone and I would go downstairs and I would sit in the chair and I would put my phone down my shirt on vibrate and I would lay down and I'd micro nap for 10 minutes and it would vibrate. And then I would go back upstairs and
Nice.
be functional again.
Amazing.
I would like to learn that skill.
Yeah, it's a great skill. Great skill.
Took me a minute.
Yeah.
Took me a minute.
Yeah. So then, this is kind of related to it in terms of balancing things, but do you manage to sneak in some self-care to ensure you don't burn out between working your day job and being an author?
I'm a triple Virgo. I don't understand what self-care is if it's not in reference to making someone else do it with me. I will say one of my self-care things is getting my nails done.
They're super
So,
cute.
thank you. I started doing that again this year because I'd stopped for like 5 or 6 years because I used to work in a bank. So I used to get my nails done because I worked at a bank. I was constantly handling people's money and I knew my hands were being seen. And then I stopped because it was expensive and I'm awkward at the nail salon. So I don't like it. But I tried a new place in January this year and it's not expensive, but it's not expensive, if that makes sense. It's rough. Like with the tip, I'm paying a little more than I should, but I like her work and she doesn't make me feel like a weirdo. So that's been one thing I have done for self-care. So like for at least once a month, I go have my nails done. I chit chat with this lovely woman who thinks I'm just the biggest weirdo she's ever met, but she likes me. So
Perfect.
That's all right.
she's great.
Weirdos unite, right?
Exactly.
Next time I go, I'm going to ask you for advice though. Cause like the last time I went, they asked me questions and things. And I'm like, I don't know
Ooh, I can
what
help.
any of those options
I
mean.
can help with some. Not everything. I can help with some things.
Yeah. They're
I
like, do you want
usually-
this or this, this or this? And I'm like, hi.
I bring Pinterest with me and I was like, make it look like this, round and not too long so I don't poke myself in the eye.
Yeah. Perfect. That's a good idea. Okay, man. So, and obviously, did you get your nails done for this little outing that you had recently? Because I know you went on a little book tour. How did that go?
It was great. So I spent the end of June up in the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It was super fun. So I agreed to do a show in Escanaba, which is way up and all the way around. And I was like,
Was it in the moonlight?
In the moonlight, yes. It was during the daytime, and I also had a tick behind my ear during the show, which made me very upset. I panicked just a skosh.
Yeah.
So when I planned it, I was like, you know what I should do? I should reach out to these other bookstores that are in the UP. They don't get a lot of authors probably. And if they do, they probably get more authors Wisconsin or Minnesota because it's closer. So I started reaching out to them. So on Wednesday, on my way up to Escanaba, I stopped in Boyne City and I stopped at Dusk and Blush and had a good little time there. Wasn't super busy on a Wednesday, but she's like, we're doing this thing this summer. So Fridays are busy. So we're working on getting me up there for a Friday. Because apparently most of the authors sell out within the first hour that they're there.
Nice.
So
Wow.
definitely want to check that out. So
Let's go up on a Friday.
Exactly. So was very excited about that. So the other bookstore I was supposed to go to is up in Marquette. It's called Kiss My Lips. It is a romance-only bookstore up there. Her and I started communicating. I emailed first, and then she gave me the manager's number, talked to the manager. We're working stuff out. And then I emailed her at the wrong email address, and she emailed me at the wrong email address. And then because everything else that was going on in my life, I didn't realize we didn't communicate. So 2 weeks before I was heading up there, I was like, did we? And she's like, oh, I think we forgot. I was like, we did. And she's like, I already have somebody the day we were going to have you. I was like, oh, don't stress it. I forgot too. Like, we both dropped the ball. So instead, I turned it into a vacation.
Nice.
Which made it really fun. So the office that I have, some of our employees are outsourced. They are in Ecuador, and they do a lot of our like data processing and double checking for us. So my whole trip, they're like, we want pictures because we don't understand what the UP is. So here we have this little chat on my Teams that I have on my phone where I am taking random pictures in the UP and sending them to all of our Ecuadorian coworkers. And I was like, and this is Kitchen to Kippy. And I kept getting, how do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it? And I kept going, I don't know. Just, it's the big spring. Look at the water. Look how cool it is down there. And then I went up on Pictured Rock, and I accidentally took the most patriotic picture ever because I was on the boat. So Pictured Rock, you go along in this boat, see all the cool like rock faces on Lake Superior. And I didn't realize it, but I was sitting at the back of the boat to get a picture of one of them. And I was like, oh, I should take a selfie for my husband. Haha, I'll send it to those cats too. And I took the picture, didn't even look at it. The American flag is fully unfurled behind me. I was like, and they're like, Catherine's the patriot. I was like, no, Katharine is not. No. So I went on this fantastic little tour on Thursday. And then because I'm a weirdo, I was staying in Iron Mountain for 2 days. Because again, originally I was going to be at another bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
I got to the place where I was staying, and it shared a parking lot with a Chinese food restaurant. I was like, okay, all right. Gonna move that into the concerned category. And then I noticed the parking lot was long enough that you could park a full truck with a trailer. And I was like, oh, we're moving further into the concerned. And the side door said, tanning salon clients, please come in the front door.
Oh, no.
So my hotel is also a tanning salon. You can walk to a Chinese restaurant, and I am walking in terrified. And I come in, and the woman explains to me, don't put the cards near your debit or credit cards or your phone. They keep getting demagnetized.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, cool. This is the cleanest place I have ever stayed in my entire life. It was very dated, like
That's okay.
very dated, but it was clean. It smelled clean. It was lovely. It was wonderful. I'm so happy. And I got to rearrange everything that goes in my totes for my author stuff. So I had all 3 of my totes with everything on my bed like a puzzle piece. And I got to put it, I was very happy. So it was a nice half of my vacation. And then I did the show in Escanaba on Saturday, which was great and fun.
Yeah.
And then I had a show in,
It went well?
It did. It went better than I thought it was going to when I first got there. Because it was warm, just on the edge of being too warm, that I was worried there weren't going to be enough people. And then the space started filling up, and I was like, oh, never mind. This is a big thing. So cool beans. The author next Ann Arbor. So we had a big joke about the fact there were 2 Lower Peninsula girls hanging out together in the UP. The same show, never met before. And then I went straight from, I had a show on Sunday in the Lower Peninsula in the Saginaw Bay-ish area. So I drove straight after I left all the way down to Imlay City and had a terrifying hotel stay. And had I not been so tired, I would have left, but I was too to leave. And I'm still arguing to get my money back because there were dirty clothes in the bathroom of the room that I stayed in. But I didn't discover them until post-shower, and I wasn't getting dressed to get moved. So this is why I travel with 2 blankets and my own towels.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I checked into a room and it already had a man in it once.
Much worse. You win.
He was wearing clothes though, so
That's
that was fantastic.
Oh my God.
I was like, hello? And he's like, hello? And I'm like, why are you here?
I have a key. It reminds me of that scene in Dirty Dancing. I carried a watermelon.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
So talking about events, you also planned your own event, I understand?
I did.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? What was it like being behind the scenes and seeing everything that goes into planning it? And, I might be asking because I'm also currently planning an event with a fellow author.
It was great. It was so stressful. So if you want the tea, I can tell you the tea, or I can leave the tea out. That's up to you,
Oh,
depending on how spicy you want to get.
I mean, we'll take
So
what you're willing to give.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the original, so I held it on April 12th. I was originally supposed to be going to Dreaming Dirty in Ann Arbor. One of the people who's running it said some things I did not agree with. I spent an entire weekend having a panic attack about what I was going to do because I've invested X amount of dollars. I know
Yes.
she's not going to give me my money back. And so I decided, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to dedicate half of my table to fighting ice. So this is what I'm going to do. I can't afford to drop out. And then I woke up Monday morning and I had a fever, which means the inhibition man who stops me from doing the stupid things was like taking a nap because we had a fever. And I was like, fuck it. I'm dropping out and I'm hosting my own alt event. Let's go. So I just started calling venues and emailing venues. And by noon that Monday, I had made 50 contacts out just trying to find a venue.
Wow.
Hey, are you available? Hey, are you available? What would be the cost of your space be? Blah, blah, blah. Just hit it running. And so in less than 90 days,
That is stressful.
my God, the level of stress I was. My whole author group buddies, they were all like, Katharine, it's okay. Have you slept? And I was like, sleep is for the weak. I will sleep when the show's over. I very quickly put together author forum. My friend is a graphic designer. She made us a little frog who was our little mascot. So we called it Books in the Barns. It was a little green frog reading a book
Cute.
that we decided was his name. I don't remember his name, but he was the non-binary barn frog. Is who we decided he was. He's just this little guy. My friends all pitched in. People have known me for years. My friend paid for the bags for the design that she put on them for our VIP people. I picked up any author who dropped out of Dreaming Dirty could have a free table at my event. Other authors that I picked up and vendors, I charged a little bit just so I could cover the venue cost. We called it Books in the Barn because we hosted it at a fairgrounds that was not
fun.
too far from Dreaming Dirty, about 10 minutes down the road. Not petty. That's not why I picked it. I picked it because it was affordable.
Yeah.
That was, I'm not going to lie though, that was a little extra feature I didn't hate. If I wanted to be petty, there was a hotel with a 10-minute walk that I could have picked because they were pretty close to the same cost as the barn. And at the last minute, I was like, oh, I don't want to worry about parking. But my friends came together. So up to the day, I did the majority of all the organizing. So to get a food truck, that took me about 25 emails. I just kept, hi, would you like to sell food at my event? I will not charge you.
Nice.
Free, because this is the first event I've run in this area. Big tip, if you are running your first event, don't tell people it's your first event
Oh, no.
because they don't think that you know what you're doing. So
Oh, yeah.
this is my first event in your area, because that's not a lie. It's just,
I'm all about the fake it till you make it, for sure.
Exactly. It's a little bit gray area. Have somebody else review your form that you send out to your potential people to make sure that you don't have terrible typos. I used the wrong exception a couple times. Most people let it go, but one of my authors was an English teacher, so she sent it back to me with corrections, and I was like, well, that's embarrassing. Not in a mean way, like she was being mean about it, but she definitely sent me corrections. The food truck was a big thing that took me a minute to find. I would have loved to have had more time to put it on social media, to be more organized. But a lot of the things that I learned from it were just keep hammering it, keep going, and then ask for help. Like, that was the big thing is like, my brother built signs to put out on the road for me. I would have never thought to ask. And he was like, hey, do you need signs? I can make some signs for you. So my friend and I had a crafting day. One of the things we put in our VIP bags was little sour worms, little plastic bags, and it had a bookworm
Nice.
on the little sticker we stuck on them. And just, being a little more pushy, not pushy, but like with your authors and your vendors, hey, we want you to put this on your social media. This is the expectation. Making sure everybody's kind of pulling that load, because social media is exhausting for everybody. And it's one thing if I could impress upon you guys, you and whoever you're running it with, pick somebody to do social media and make sure that is their task. That is their job. Yeah. That is the thing that they are focused on before anything else, because I felt like in some cases I dropped the ball. I didn't get, and we did solid. Everybody who went made money. I lost the same amount of money running my own event had I just dropped, which I think is a win.
That is a win.
And the fact that like I didn't get to do as a deep dive as I wanted. I got lucky because everybody who attended my show was in vibe with who I am and kind of what I think's important about reading and writing and making sure that we're pushing those values of inclusivity and diversity. But I would definitely make sure we're glancing through people's social media, making sure that the people that you want at your show and having those expectations set with your authors. I had both non-romance authors and romance authors at my show. So it was making a map, making sure that my kids authors and my nonfiction are on one side, who's facing them was my sci-fi and fantasy that wasn't spicy. And then you turn the corner and it was all the romance and erotica and spicy stuff on the other side. So we weren't having those awkward conversations of, why is there a penis, mommy? When the little girl's looking at the book about the frog. But I think, really honestly, it was such a good experience to be able to watch people come together and learn. And like, for me, it was a big wake-up call of, one, I can't do everything myself. And I have to ask for help. And two, that I can fucking do it if I put my mind to it. Like, I wasn't as delusional as I thought. And so I'm going to be helping with Lansing Lit Fest in September, run their authors market, because they're like, hey, you did a great job. Would you like to do that for us? And I was like, boy, howdy would I. Because it will all be now the decisions will be mine, which is really the thing that I want.
That's awesome.
So you're saying I have an in for that?
Potentially, yes.
Potentially. Send me the app.
Absolutely. When I get it, you will have it.
So that brings me to my question is, A, you would do it again, and then which side do you prefer? Would you rather just show up to somebody else's event, or would you rather be running your own event and then tape?
They both have pros and cons. The biggest con of being there as the author and the manager, I had two friends who agreed to be my managers that day of the event. It took it off my plate, which is definitely something if you are going to author and run your own show, have somebody designated day of, this is your job. I can't let anything go. So I was with an eye line of my of everything, because that's who I am as a person. There are some huge advantages to just showing up. And I'm not going to lie, the next show that I went to that I was just there, I was like thanking the person who ran it like a million times. I was like, I love you. You are the best human being on the planet. Thank you for doing all of these things. But I think part of what I loved about being the organizer is that I got to talk to almost all of my authors that were there. I got to show my gratitude for them. So one of the things that I did is I set my map up in advance, obviously, because of the thing I was talking about where I didn't want the kids author and erotica together. So I had cards made with their names on it that we set the map up before they got there. And on the back was a thank you card. And it said, thank you. We're so glad you're here, with my signature on it. And it wasn't anything big, but it was a little thing to say thank you. And all the shows that I had been to, I pulled different things that I thought helped. So like we had water and snacks for all of our authors. And it wasn't anything fancy. It was just chips. We did have a gluten-free option because we had Sun Chips, but we had just some little things that they could snack on. We had water that we were providing them throughout the day. All of my people who were my volunteers were going and checking on them. I made sure I had ADA compliant walkways in my map, so there was enough room for people to move. And going to shows where I have been shoved in a corner, or once I have gotten settled, I don't move the entire show because there's no good way to get out or in from the position that I'm in. That can be a pain. Or you are by somebody that you don't like. It might not even be that the other person's bad. You just have a clashing personality. Because I'm very loud and I am very animated and I talk with my hands and I'm noisy. My voice carries, my laugh carries. And if somebody who was next to me was introverted and quiet and trying to have more deep conversations about their book, that might get annoying to listen to me yap all day. Even if we didn't have personal beef with each other, that could be frustrating. So from that point of view, I loved being the organizer because I could look at people's social media, get little clips of them like, okay, you two definitely don't vibe, definitely want you apart. You are a brand new baby author and you are queer. I am going to put you in my bubble over here by two people that I know are great who will protect you and support you while you're at my show. And so for me, that I loved. But I do also just love showing up and being like, hello, I'm Catherine.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gonna say
I
books.
Love
I
that.
think you're right. You definitely do have like a new appreciation for the people running it
Yes.
after you've done it. Because like I mean, obviously GR Lit Fest,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it doesn't matter how many flyers you like, we've put flyers at every single cafe, every single bookstore, every single like business anywhere near our venues. And we would do social media every day on Facebook and Instagram, and we did TV interviews and we
Yeah.
did radio interviews, and people are like, oh, I never heard of it. I'm like, we tried everything we could.
Yes.
And that's, yeah. So, yeah, I get you. But I like that thank you card idea.
Yeah, that's a great
Can I
idea.
steal
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it. It's
you.
I went to an event where they gave us all legit thank you cards. Like,
Yeah.
and listen, I'm very nice, but I run out of brain, and I wrote thank you cards to all of my volunteers. Hand wrote those out. The authors and vendors got a much shorter version.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're here. Signature.
Fair.
Awesome.
It's a lot,
I was
for
tired.
sure.
I didn't sleep like for 2 days. Just
Understandable.
naps. Barely. My
Understandable.
poor husband, that we drove down because we're about an hour and a half outside of Ann Arbor, and he's obviously kind of a night person because of his job. So we went to Ann Arbor. It's like, okay, we're going to be 10 minutes from the place. This way, even, that we got to get up early. You can sleep in a little bit at least, won't be so bad. He fell asleep in the recliner next to the bed. And every time I would doze off, I would roll over, kick him, and then roll back over and be awake. And he's like, I love you to the ends of the earth. I thought about killing you severely for the first time ever in our marriage. He goes, you just didn't want anybody to sleep. I was like, I'm sorry.
It happens. It
I
happens.
was stressed. Slept super good when we got home, though. Oh
Of
my
course,
God.
yeah.
I didn't move for like 9 hours, which for me was like he went to make sure I didn't die. Like he legit was like, hey, you good? Mirror underneath the nose.
That is reasonable, for sure. So you're talking kind of about the little swag bags that you provide for the authors at your events, but I've heard you have some pretty unique swag that you bring to live events for your readers.
I do.
Want to tell us about that?
Yeah. So for my rated R Hallmark, the new ones that I'm doing, I do recipe cards
Cute.
for my books. Going forward, I have a little chibi version of Liam. So they're his recipes. So he's going to be all the recipes going forward.
Nice.
The fun one is my novellas. So my novellas come together. I sell them together, and they come in an evidence bag.
So cute.
So when you get them, I fill it out. I use the date for whatever the event is. I write the name of the event on the evidence bag, and I do a little fake signature. So when you get the book from me, it comes like this.
Well, that is so cute.
And then there's a recipe for 3 on nachos that you also get that goes with it. And I can tell you, I have sold this set so many times
Nice.
based on the evidence bag because it's just such a fun
Yeah.
little different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at an event and this girl goes, do your books come in an evidence bag? I was like, oh yeah, my diet romance little novellas, they're $25 for both of them. They come in. Yes, please, want. And I'm like,
Nice.
cool.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Done. But yeah, so all of the books going forward in the Windmill Creek Hearts Series will have a Liam recipe attached to them,
Cute.
which is going to be fun.
I love that. Yeah.
I do too.
So I know you get them in quantities, those
do.
evidence bags. Do you
Yes.
have enough for all the live events that you have coming up?
Yes.
And where are you going to be? Where can we find you?
Yeah. So on the 25th of this month, I am going to be in Fort Wayne, Indiana at a book affair. I'm so excited about that one because I get to snag my best friend from South Bend on my way down there. And it's the first time she's ever going to see me in action as an author.
Nice.
So that's going to be the funnest day. And then the 29th, a couple days later, there is a local bar here a little south of me in Jackson, Michigan. They host a book club every month, and
Cute.
Failure to Thrive is their book for July. So I get to give a little talk and have fun with some drinks and some, tipsy folks talking about spicy books and my book specifically.
Love it.
And then on the 8th of August, the same bar is hosting a little book market, which we're still getting people around for. So we are hosting there. So I'll be back again. And then in the middle of September, on the 20th, I will be running the book market for the Late Lit Fest. And then probably some
Nice.
other things that I've forgotten.
Yeah.
because I will just go wherever. Oh, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'm on board.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Nice. Love it.
I like to meet people and I like to talk about books and have a good time.
Yeah. We all do, for sure. I love that. It's a great part of being an author, isn't it?
100%.
But other than going to live events and selling your books and meeting readers, what is one thing that will let you know you've made it as an author that's not money? We like to kind of look at the different side of things.
I actually had it happen a couple of days ago, randomly and
Nice.
wildly. So one of the Facebook groups that I am sort of a part of that I like see was somebody who posted, hey, I have this really vague memory of 2 years ago meeting this author who was selling this book about a trailer park romance that was super sweet, but that's all I can remember. Does anybody know what it might be? And somebody immediately replied with my picture holding Failure to Thrive. Is it this one?
Oh,
My whole heart. I was like,
yeah.
I hope that's what she was looking for.
That's
And if it's not,
amazing.
that's okay too. But I got thought of immediately.
Yes, I
So
love that.
that is
I
definitely
love
one of my
that.
author achievement tick boxes. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. So we have asked you a number of questions. What is one question that you would like to ask all of the listeners and readers out there? And then for everyone listening, we'll post this on our Instagram so you can answer there, or you can comment on the YouTube video.
I want to know a trope that you have changed your mind on. Either I
Nice.
like it now or I don't like it now.
Hmm,
I want to know a trope you've changed your opinion on.
that's a good one. I like it.
Yeah,
I like
I like
it.
that.
And it's perfect. It leads right into our final question, which is about tropes.
Yeah.
So if you could read any trope for the rest of your life, but only one trope, what would it be?
Found family, 100%.
Yeah.
Give me my
right.
squishy idiots that have figured out we like each other and you're mine now.
Yeah.
Get in the car.
Yeah,
That is my
that is a
favorite.
good one.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite one. I can forgive bad writing. I can forgive so many things. I hate the miscommunication trope. I can forgive it sometimes if you do it right. I'll forgive so much if you put a good found family in there. If you give me good characters that I believe
Yes.
love each other and want to be, you're mine now. You're in our group. You're my sibling. You're
Yes.
my friend. 100%.
So good. Definitely.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Katharine, for coming out and letting us peek behind the curtain of your author life. Could you let our listeners know where they can follow you and keep up to date? And then we'll post those in the show notes below.
Absolutely. You can find me either sweettailswithspice.com if you want to find my website, or pretty much any social media. I am Sweet Tales with Spice. If you want to find my little darker side, you can look me up at Twisted Tales with Heart.
Oh, perfect. I love that.
I like that.
Awesome. Great. Yeah, so we'll put those in the show notes. And to our listeners out there, if there's something you wish we had asked, let us know in the comments. We can pass it on. Other than that, thank you so much for coming out and joining us today, Katharine. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was
Katharine.
fun.
Thanks for getting dirty with us. If you had fun, leave a review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. New episodes will be released every Wednesday, and we've got an amazing lineup of authors to share with you.
If there's someone you'd love to see on our show, or you've got burning questions for your favorite authors, send us an email to backstagewiththebookbabes@gmail.com, or leave us a comment on our social media accounts. You can find us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok, Backstage with the Book Babes. Links and applications for authors to join us as guests are at linktree/Backstage with the Book Babes.
You can follow me, Albie Blake, with that handle on social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok.
You can follow me, Nikki Jewell, and learn about my books at authornikkijewell.com. I'm also on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at NikkiJewell_books.
Thanks again for joining the party. Keep turning those pages and keep it spicy.